is the 18th of June, and it's time for yet another not particularly interesting, very vague, and probably quite boring vlog. So we have some good news for once. The engine that we have been requiring for my 1989 Nissan Sunny N13 has been acquired. I was very blessed to have just seen something come up in the Nissan Sunny Owners Club Facebook group, which Mr. Coleman and I are now members of, and it's a complete engine actually for the car. It's a direct swap replacement. It's a 1988 car. The E16 engine that's in the one I've got was replaced sort of late 1988, early 89. The one that I've got, it was a late registration, so it was registered, I think, in the autumn of 1989, when most of the cars had gone over to the GA16 engine. Because it was only in the N13 Sunny for a couple of years, I think either 2 or 3 years, there's not an awful lot of them out there with the 1.6 engine and the manual gearbox. So we were really blessed to find out actually that the gentleman who was selling this, he was breaking an entire car, a car that sadly has met rather a nasty end where someone's tried to put a body kit on it, because according to Mr. Coleman, when he had a look at the car, it's actually quite solid. It's just, if you've ever been sort of cutting up bits of wheel arches and things, it sort of ruined it, and it's a shame. But the engine's actually a lower mileage one than the one that we currently have. The Sunny I've got has done about 80,000 miles. This has done 44, I think it is, or something like that. And yeah, before the car was modified, it actually looked like it was in quite a good condition. Obviously it will go on to live, keeping other N13 Sunnys on the road, which obviously, you know, certain parts are quite difficult to find now because there's not an awful lot of them left. So we're very happy with that. The gentleman was really nice. It was a good price as well, actually. So complete engine with the cylinder head and the gearbox. So what we're going to try to do is not have to replace the clutch in that, because the clutch on the car actually is good. The gearbox is good. But if we can just get away with putting that in as a complete unit, we don't have to separate the gearbox and clutch, we don't have to put the cylinder head on. We're going to give that a try and see how it goes. So, you know, it's really good news. Those of you who've watched the previous very vlog on the subject, which was recorded on the 30th of April, so it's obviously some considerable time after the last update we had, will know that the bottom end is just gone. It's only running very well on sort of 3 cylinders. The car will drive, like, you know, you could go to the shop or whatever in that and come back and it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, it will actually make it to the place where the engine's going to be replaced with the old engine in it. In fact, Mr. Coleman intends to drive it there. I always get my MOTs done at his uncle's place, which is in Nuneaton, and he has agreed, along with Mr. Coleman, to take the engine out and put the new one in, which is great. The engine actually fitted in the back of Mr. Coleman's Volvo, which is it's amazing. I didn't realise you could just dump an engine in the back of a Volvo estate, but because the V90 that he has, and I think by the time that you see this, which is about 3 weeks after it's recorded, if you want to see these, you know, on the day that they're recorded or thereabouts, then you can become a channel member on the top 2 tiers, which are Row 45 V6 or Set Toledo, and then you get to see them much earlier. But those are the rest of you who won't see that, I think you'll probably see the review of that very nice 1998 V90 Mr. Coleman has before you see this. So that's what's been carried in. He has a nice plastic liner for it, so it doesn't damage the carpet or whatever. And you know, Volvo estates are very handy for many things, such as transporting a complete E16 engine with the cylinder head and gearbox on it, so you don't have to hire a van or anything. So that is in the back of the back end of Volvo, and at some point Mr. Coleman will drop back down to his uncle's place, and they will get on with putting the engine in. We are going to have to change the exhaust on it, unfortunately. The exhaust is surprisingly not that difficult to obtain. If you remember the Revo 216 that I owned briefly last year, we had to get a new exhaust for it, and it was very difficult. This apparently is a lot easier. The thing about it is this car's on a carburettor, and it's not got a catalytic converter or anything on it. You could get catalytic converters on some of the N13 Sunnies, but I don't think we ever got one in this country before they were discontinued in 1991. Certainly the N14s, a lot of them do have catalytic converters on them. So that is a good update. You know, are we going to have this car ready for festival? That would be unexceptional during the last weekend of July. Well, I do hope so. I mean, it would be nice to take it there. There won't be too many N13 Sunnies there, I don't think. They're not common. Obviously, they're a bit more common than Cherry Europe. Those that, like, you know, if you've seen the review on I did some recording a few days ago on that, actually, they are like the rarest car I've ever driven. There are literally 2 on the road in this country at the moment, so I'm going to go in one of those. You know, that's quite something. But N13s, there are 3 more of them around. Obviously, there's one less now because it's donated its engine and gearbox to one that we got, so that will be good. And yeah, we also got a plan to fix the front bumper a bit better. Now, there's going to be a temporary fix done on that. Obviously, it's currently held together with some tape. So we could put the low spec bumper we got on it, which we might do at some point in the future for when the car goes away, to have the painted bumper repaired. But Mr. Coleman apparently has a fix for that as well, so we can take it to shows and it'll be fine. Apart from that, there is some other work to do on it, mainly cosmetic work. I think I'm going to put a different radio in it, because the one that's in there, that it doesn't work particularly well. It's missing one of the control knobs, so it's not that easy to use. So we might put a different radio in there, and also need to fix the speakers, because it's only got one working speaker at the moment. And that for me is not quite adequate for sort of doing longer journeys in it. But yeah, have a service. Obviously, we do the cam belt whilst the engine's still out of the car, and yeah, you know, I'm very much looking forward to having it back. Apart from the engine problem, there's not actually much wrong with it, and that's one of the reasons why I bought the car in the first place. So I've seen how well, you know, Mr. Brisden, the previous owner, had tried to look after it. Obviously, the garage, who had attempted to fix the engine and basically failed after 9 months, they didn't really look after it that well, but at least he tried. You know, he's actually a really kind chap, and I'm grateful to him for, you know, giving me first refusal on it when he wanted to get rid of it. I've also been offered another car through the Datsun Owners Club UK, catering for pre-1995, and that's the Nissan, but I'm not going to buy it because it is outside of my budget, and also this one's not fixed yet. So it's very nice. I have driven it, drove it in 2022 I think, but we're not going to buy that one. My lady wife will be happier if we don't buy it, I think, as well, so that's better. So that's about it really. So we've got some news, it's some progress with the Sunny. Hopefully we'll be able to actually drive it for the purposes we intended, because for a long time Mr. Brisden was actually using that car on a daily basis, and for some time I've been wanting to actually do that myself for a bit. Particularly in the summer, it's much easier to use something like that in the summer, because I did it for a bit with the Volvo 460 I had, and that was alright actually. And this is more comfortable than one of those. It's also got a manual gearbox, so it's just a bit more fun in that way. So yes, N13 Sunny 1.6 GSX from 1989. Looking forward to having it back on the road. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more very vague and not particularly interesting mind-blowing.